Hi, and welcome back. We're here with George Smitherman, a gentleman who wants to run as the chief of our city, or mayor of our city, a gentleman who is no stranger to our city. He has put in a lot of years. George Smitherman actually grew up in Toronto, and as a Torontonian myself, I know my great love for Toronto. So I'd like you to meet George Smitherman right now, and please tell us, why do you want to be mayor of this city?
Well, thank you firstly for helping to organize this. I appreciate it very much. I'm a native son of Toronto, and like you, I'm very proud and love my city very much. But I feel that for all the love that we have and for all the great people that we have and the neighborhoods that we have, that Toronto isn't fulfilling its full potential. And I'm really motivated by the desire to make Toronto work for everyone, to see our city realize its full potential and to allow the people in Toronto to experience their full potential.
Were you born in Toronto?
I was born at Humber Memorial Hospital in Weston, raised in Etobicoke, and now living downtown.
So your parents were immigrants?
Well, we're all immigrants, I'm pretty sure. My parents traced their roots, one to England and one to Scotland. But I guess my people have been here for several generations. But I come from the roots of poverty. My parents both came from families with challenging circumstances, and through very hard work made sure to make a success for their children, a story that's been repeated so many times in our Toronto.
And one which you're repeating now. You're a new father.
I am, yeah, exactly. A little bit late in life to be a dad at 46, but my spouse Christopher and I, we adopted a baby in February. His name is Michael, so he's now 20 months old, and we're just enjoying it so much. Every day with a baby of this age, a young kid of this age, is a new experience, and I have become the most adept diaper changer in the history of humankind.
I can understand what that is all about. Now, the adoption, and when we look at adoptions right now, we're looking at movie stars adopting. We're looking at, when I first came to Canada, my aunt, that was long, long ago, she adopted a playmate for one of my cousins. We used to call them playmates at that time. But adoption really comes from love. It comes from big heart. It comes from people who want a child. Now, should it make a difference whether it's, same sex, whether it's different cultures? Is it not just love?
Well, love is certainly the motivation, and we didn't go offshore international adoption. This little guy was born at Humber Memorial Hospital just like me.
Just like you.
And he was, born into a circumstance where he needed love, and we feel so blessed and so fortunate to have been given this opportunity. I think Toronto Children's Aid Society, which does give or take approximately 100 adoptions each year, something in the neighborhood of 20% of all of their adoptions now involve same-sex individuals or same-sex couples. And I think that they have found that there is a lot of capacity and love in the community. And we're just, like I said, feeling so blessed and lucky to have this little toddler in our life.
I think that's wonderful. I know that you are in growing up in Toronto, you have, participated in a lot of sports. So, this little guy is, will be slinging, the to the net pretty soon, whether it's basketball or particularly hockey. You once played hockey, didn't you?
Well, you know what what I say is I do all sports,
yes.
None of them well. But the sport this summer that I actually got a chance to try that I really enjoyed was cricket. And I know that, of course, in the West Indies, we have many great cricketers. But my current passion for sports is tennis. Although during this busy campaign season, I haven't had too much time for any of that. But, we'll certainly let him choose which sports he might wish to excel at. What I've noticed as well is that he likes music. He knows when to dance. And I'm very, very certain that he'll be an active participant in future Caravana parades.
That's a good thing. Okay. Now, you have just resigned from your post as?
Well, when I left, actually, getting to be quite a while ago now, last November, I left my post as Deputy Premier of Ontario and Minister of Energy and Infrastructure because I wanted to pursue these challenges as Mayor of Toronto. And in the time since, it's been extraordinary as I've had a chance to get to know my city and the people of my city so much better. It's been just the most amazing experience.
Now, in leaving that post, what are one of the things that you really could stand up and say, I made a difference when I was there?
Well, I think that I could point to maybe over the time of 10 years of a career in provincial politics, I looked to the community of Regent Park. In that community, I helped to work on the redevelopment and to create this initiative, Pathways to Education. I look to the time that I spent as Minister of Health, making much more health care available right at the community level.
Tell the viewers some of the things that you did, because, I mean, that was the time when I really got to know you. That was the time when I really got to admire you. George would be invited to a meeting at Ryerson, let's say about, 7:30 in the morning, and he would be there. And there might be about 20 people there, but he would show up. And I just admire this gentleman who had so much passion for for the post that he was holding. Tell us some of the things that you accomplished.
Well, some of the things that we did ranged from we introduced for Ontario a newborn screening program so that babies born with metabolic deficiencies, things like sickle cell, that we were able to actually know that right away. We built many new community health centers, some of those right here in Toronto, like in Malvern, Taibo, that is going to be serving the very diverse communities there. 1,800 more doctors came online while I was the Minister of Health. We reduced surgical wait times in the province of Ontario, added something like 8,000 additional nurses. These are just some of the examples of what we were able to accomplish during my time as Minister of Health. Then as Minister of Energy and Infrastructure, I had the privilege of bringing forward the Green Energy Act, which is going to make Ontario's energy supply cleaner and greener and produce about 50,000 additional jobs in Ontario as well. So in a 10-year career, I had many, many opportunities, both local and at the provincial-wide level. And I want to bring that experience to the change that's necessary to make our city perform better, to let Toronto live up to its full potential.
Now, everywhere I drive downtown Toronto, there are huge cranes and big developments, and sometimes when I check on the condos, the prices of the condos, they're astronomical. Is this really a true reflection of where Toronto is going, or would people who work downtown be able to live downtown? Can you see in the future how the developments for Toronto, I know we've got a waterfront project, I know they're speaking of billions of dollars that's going into what's that, but I've been hearing about a waterfront project for a long time now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some of those cranes that you see downtown are resulting from the work that I did as Minister of Infrastructure. So if you went to Ryerson University or to the George Brown campus on the waterfront, you would see new buildings that are coming to life. We have new hospitals in Toronto that are part of government's commitment to improve the public infrastructure. I think that we do have an affordability issue, though. You've touched on a very, very crucial issue. And we have to develop policies that allow working people to be able to afford to live in the downtown. As we redeveloped Regent Park, as an example, we built in there models of affordable home ownership, which has allowed some of the people who have been renters in Toronto community housing to actually purchase their own units in new condominiums.
Break
and I
the
think
cycle.
that these are exactly, if you're going to be making that payment every month, it's obviously very beneficial if you're making a payment towards your own home and towards your own future. But I think that we have a lot of work to do to develop even better policies that will allow more people that are working wage people to be able to afford downtown. And this is one of the things that I want to tackle if I'm elected as mayor.
Well, you've been called George the Curious, George the Furious, George very passionate, George of everything, okay? At this point, it's like, this is such a demanding job you still have, you're new in a marriage, 3 years, young. Why do you want all of this burden on you? Why not
Well,
let somebody else do it, George?
well, I don't really think of it as a burden. It's a privilege, and I've had jobs that are tough. Surviving and thriving in the role as Minister of Health for almost 5 years, that's an excruciatingly demanding job. It's the biggest government department in all of Canada. You have 400,000 indirect employees. I think that these experiences are what give my candidacy a lot of oomph. I think that people should know when they look at me that I'm a change agent. Some people call me Furious George just because sometimes I'm very determined to get things done.
Yeah,
And I think
he is.
so the combination of my passion, my desire to make things happen, the experiences that I've had at making change, this is all part and parcel of why I think I'm well suited to be the mayor of our city. And why me? Because I think that of all of the candidates in the race, and there's something like 35 of them, I have that unique combination of energy, expertise to be able to get Toronto moving forward, to make Toronto work for everyone, and to make us proud of our city again.
Okay, we're going to get some global attention. We just had global attention. Some of it was negative, but I was very fortunate to be on the side of the positive. I'm speaking about the G8 and G20. I am now speaking about, we have the Pan American Games coming into town. That's 2015. Tell me, what's your views on it? How would our city benefit from this?
Well, I think that the Pan Am Games is going to be extraordinary for several reasons. Firstly, as a diverse city, we're going to do such an amazing job of welcoming the people from the West Indies, from South America, from those continents that are part of the Pan Am Games. So it's going to be a chance for us to show our colors, and the communities who are going to welcome their country people here, they're going to do such a great job. But the other part about it is that's really exciting. It gives us a chance to spruce up our infrastructure. For instance, my transportation plan is focused on what we can complete in time for the Pan Am Games. There is going to be some good investment in infrastructure, ranging from big aquatic facility in Scarborough that our friend, the Honourable Margaret Best, has promoted so vigorously, with transit lines that can provide some of the linkages, new facilities at places like York University. So I think it's an exciting time for us to, what I call is Pan Am boot camp. We can get our people and our facilities and infrastructure in better shape to help welcome the world. So I think it's an exciting opportunity for Toronto as we continue to evolve and rebuild our infrastructure, which has become quite worn out.
What are some of your favorite things to do around Toronto?
Well, nowadays my favorite thing is to hope to have an hour off and put the kid in a stroller and take him over to the park and push him on the swing. But for me, Toronto, I think a couple of things come to mind. I love festivals.
Yes.
If you're going to live in a city that is this diverse and you don't get out there and celebrate it, then you're really missing the point. So festivals are a big, big part of our lives. And I love a lot of the public open spaces in our city. The Rouge Park is one of my very favorite places in all of Toronto. I've experienced it in many different ways, and I really see that as a place where we should be pushing the government of Canada to make it a national park. So combination of the outdoor spaces and the festivals, which gives you a flavor for Toronto, both the natural beauty and the beauty of cultural diversity.
Okay, and how about our food? I mean,
Exactly.
I mean, you're not overweight, but
I am. I always manage at these festivals to sample the very best that they have to offer. Yesterday we were out on Bloor Street. Yes. In Little Korea, yes. Or Koreatown, yes. And had a chance to sample a new delight. Is kind of like a small round baked waffle with really good things inside it, like almonds and stuff like that. So
yum.
Every day is a new delight in a different part of Toronto.
Yum. I wish you good luck.
Thank you very much.
I hope you make it. We like seeing you. I remember you as the health minister. You did a fantastic job. And if you could even do just as much, I know our city is going to be good. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.